In the lively village of Ijaya, Ajoke was a legend. Her nkwobi, a spicy cowfoot delicacy, was loved by everyone. Her shop was always crowded, with people traveling from faraway places to taste her food. The smell of rich spices and sizzling meat filled the air, making it impossible to resist. Ajoke had one rule: eat it while it's hot. Nobody questioned her. Her nkwobi was so delicious that people obeyed without complaint. Little did they know that Ajoke's secret ingredient was darker than anyone could imagine. Ajoke's success was the talk of the town. No one could match her culinary skills, and even those who tried failed miserably. Her food was simply unmatched. Customers claimed her nkwobi had a magical touch, and they kept coming back for more. But Ajoke guarded her kitchen like a treasure chest, never letting anyone near it. The villagers adored her and trusted her completely. Yet, behind her cheerful smile and kind words, Ajoke harbored a secret that would shake the entire community. Years ago, when Ajoke was struggling to attract customers, she turned to Baba Makanju, the village's mysterious native doctor. Desperate for a solution, she sought his advice. Baba Makanju told her something shocking. Use poop and urine in your cooking, he said, his voice calm but firm. Ajoke recoiled in horror. That's disgusting, she exclaimed. But Baba Makanju assured her, it will work. They will love your food and never suspect a thing. Torn between disgust and desperation, Ajoke eventually decided to try it. The results were unbelievable. Almost overnight, her shop became the busiest in the village. People couldn't get enough of her nkwobi, praising it as the best they had ever had. Even customers who had once ignored her began lining up outside her shop. Ajoke was amazed, and her confidence grew. She followed Baba Makanju's advice carefully, ensuring no one ever saw her cooking process. Her fame spread wide and far, but she lived in constant fear of being exposed. One day, a young woman named Bola visited Ajoke's shop. Bola had recently moved to the village and was curious about the famous nkwobi. She bought a plate to take home, eager to enjoy the meal in peace. But Bola got busy with chores and left the food untouched for several hours. When she finally sat down to eat, she froze in horror. The food was crawling with worms. Bola was confused and disgusted. How could food go bad so quickly? Bola couldn't stop thinking about the worms. The next day, she returned to Ajoke's shop and bought another plate of nkwobi. This time, she watched the food closely. Just as before, after a few hours, worms appeared in the dish. Bola was both horrified and curious. What was happening to the food? Determined to find answers, she decided to get closer to Ajoke. She needed to uncover the secrets behind the famous nkwobi, no matter what it took. Bola came up with a plan. She approached Ajoke, pretending to be in distress. My sister has thrown me out of the house, Bola cried. I have nowhere to go. Ajoke felt sorry for her. Let me talk to your sister, Ajoke offered, but Bola shook her head. She won't listen, she said. Please, can I stay with you, just for a while? Ajoke hesitated but eventually agreed. You can stay with me, but you must help me with the shop, she said. Bola smiled, knowing her plan was working. Ajoke didn't think much of harboring Bola because she had become a frequent customer of her business. Living with Ajoke, Bola helped set up the shop every morning. She cleaned the tables, arranged chairs, and greeted customers. Ajoke was pleased with her new helper and began to trust her. But there was one thing Bola wasn't allowed to do: enter the kitchen. You've done enough, Ajoke would say with a smile. Leave the cooking to me. Bola pretended not to mind, but her curiosity grew. She needed to see what went on behind those kitchen doors. One day, Bola pretended to be very sick. She lay on her mat, groaning in pain. I can't help you today, she said weakly. Ajoke believed her and went to the kitchen alone. Bola waited until she heard the sound of pots and pans. Then, quietly, she tiptoed to the window and peeked inside. What she saw left her speechless. Ajoke was squatting over a bucket in the corner of the kitchen. At first, Bola thought Ajoke was using it as a toilet because she didn't want to share the bathroom with her. But then Ajoke picked up the bucket and poured its contents into a large pot. Bola's heart raced as she watched Ajoke stir the mixture and add spices. The realization hit her like a thunderbolt. Ajoke was cooking with poop. Bola felt sick to her stomach. She quickly returned to her mat, pretending to still be ill. Her mind raced. She couldn't believe what she had just seen. How could Ajoke, the beloved nkwobi seller, do something so disgusting? Bola knew she had to expose the truth, but she needed proof. She couldn't let Ajoke get away with this. That night, Bola couldn't sleep. She kept on replaying the scene in her mind. The villagers need to know, she whispered to herself. I can't let them keep eating her food. Bola decided to tell the village elders, but she knew they wouldn't believe her without evidence. She needed a plan to catch Ajoke in the act. The next morning, Bola acted as if nothing had happened. She helped Ajoke set up the shop, smiling and chatting like usual. Ajoke had no idea that Bola was plotting against her. Bola waited patiently, knowing the right moment would come. She just needed to be careful. That evening, Bola went to the village chief and elders. She told them everything she had seen in Ajoke's kitchen. The elders were shocked but skeptical. Ajoke's food is the best in the village. She wouldn't do such a thing, one elder said. But Bola insisted. Come to her kitchen tomorrow morning, she said. You will see for yourselves. Early the next morning, the elders gathered outside Ajoke's kitchen. Bola hid with them, waiting for Ajoke to begin her routine. They watched in silence as Ajoke entered the kitchen, humming happily. She had no idea she was being watched. Just as Bola had described, Ajoke squatted over the bucket and began her disgusting ritual. The elders gasped in horror as they saw her pour the contents into the cooking pot. Ajoke stirred the mixture, completely unaware of their presence. Ajoke! One elder shouted, bursting into the kitchen. Ajoke froze, the bucket still in her hands. She looked up and saw the angry faces of the elders. Her heart sank. She knew her secret was out. What are you doing? The chief demanded. Ajoke stammered, trying to come up with an excuse. It's a special recipe, she said weakly. But the elders were not fooled. They were furious. You've been feeding the village this filth? One elder shouted. Word spread quickly, and soon the entire village knew the truth about Ajoke's nkwobi. People were horrified and disgusted. Many felt betrayed by the woman they had trusted for years. Ajoke's shop, once the busiest in the village, was abandoned overnight. Ajoke tried to apologize, but it was too late. The villagers demanded that she be punished for her deception. The elders held a meeting to decide her fate. She must leave the village, the chief declared. We cannot allow her to stay after what she has done. Ajoke was devastated. She packed her bag, her belongings, and left the village in shame. As she walked away, she thought about the choices she had made. Her greed had brought her success, but it had also led her to her downfall. She had no one to blame but herself. Bola, on the other hand, became a hero in the village. People praised her for her courage and determination. She had saved the community from Ajoke's deceit. The villagers learned to be more careful about who they trusted, but they never forgot Bola's bravery. The tale of Ajoke and her infamous nkwobi became a legend in Ijaya. Parents told the story to their children as a warning about the dangers of greed and dishonesty. Always do the right thing, they would say, or you might end up like Ajoke. Ajoke's story spread through other villages, and her name became synonymous with deceit. Her once famous nkwobi was now a reminder of her betrayal. No one wanted to eat it anymore, even when other sellers tried to recreate it. Baba Makanju, the native doctor who had given Ajoke her terrible advice, disappeared from the village. Some said he felt guilty for what he had done. Others believed he was too afraid of being punished. Whatever the reason was, he was never seen again. Life in Ijaya returned to normal, but the villagers remained cautious. They were more careful about the food they ate and people they trusted. Bola's bravery had taught them an important lesson, and they vowed never to forget it. Bola continued to live in the village, earning respect and admiration of everyone. She never let the fame go to her head. Instead, she focused on helping others and making the village a better place. She was a true hero. The village elders often spoke of Bola's courage during their meetings. She is an example to us all, the chief said. She showed us the importance of standing up for what is right. The villagers agreed and honored Bola for her bravery. Years later, the children in Ijaya still told the story of Ajoke and her nkwobi. They laughed and gasped at the tale, but they also learned from it. The story became a part of the village's history, a reminder of the dangers of greed and dishonesty. Ajoke's fate was a warning to everyone who heard her story. In the end, she lost everything because of her greed and deceit. But Bola's courage shone brightly, proving that truth and honesty will always prevail. And so the village of Ijaya thrived, united by the lessons of their past. Thank you so much for watching. If you got to this point, please give this video a thumbs up. It will help grow my small YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do well to subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you get notified when I post more interesting content like this. If you haven't seen my other videos, do well to go through my other videos. I have more interesting content on my page. Also, watch my videos and give them a like and comment. Leave a comment on this video and let me know your thoughts on this particular story. See you guys in my next story. Bye.